Hello and welcome to Sunday Stretchies. My name is Kiera. I am your host. Sunday Stretchies is a way for us to prepare for the week by preparing our bodies, getting limber, and just kind of stretching out any anxieties that we might feel about the upcoming week. We'll set a timer for 20 minutes today. We are going to start standing on our mat for Sunday Stretchies. Reach up overhead, nice and long. Feel this stretch in your back and your lats and your abs. Arch back a little bit. Oh, that's nice. Let's go ahead and grab one wrist and gently pull ourselves the other direction. Feel this all down our obliques. Switching hands. Other side. Oh, nice. If you take a big stretch with your arms coming down like this, you will feel a stretch in your biceps, which feels really good. All right, let's take our feet apart. We're going to very gently rock our head side to side, bring our ear to our shoulder. We're going to feel this stretch in our neck. And again, very, very gentle. We're not trying to force anything here. We don't want to be sore as a result of this stretch. Now let's bring our chin to our chest. I'll quiet my voice. ASMR for you. And we'll take our neck back and forward. Now let's take some really slow circles. So start on one side. I can hear my neck rattling a little bit. Sounds like Rice Krispie treats. Now crackle pop. I'm going to do 3 circles here. And now I'm going to reverse direction. Close my mouth there for a sec. If you close your eyes while you're doing this, you might lose balance. Okay, 3 circles. Take that out, get grounded again. Got our feet planted on the ground. I'm in a wide and bar, what we call this is second position, but my legs are just apart. They are wider than my hips, wider than my shoulders. Let's go ahead and bring those shoulders up to our ears. Very slow circles. Feeling this in the shoulders, and then as we squeeze our shoulder blades together, feeling in that upper back. I've got some more snap, crackle, pops. Let's reverse directions. Forward. 2, 3, 4. Oh, nice. Let's go ahead and take a twist to one side. I like to wrap my arms around myself. In yoga, they call this a bind. So what I'm doing, I'll turn this way. I'm actually grabbing my side with my hand that's in front. And then on the back, because my hand is wide open like this, I'm using a little bit of friction to hold my hand in place. So if you're standing, I'm doing my right side right now. So if you're doing your left side, you're gonna, of course, have your arms reversed. I've got my left arm in front on my tummy, holding my own waist, and then my right arm's behind me. And I'm looking to the right now, and I'm feeling this nice stretch in my upper arm right here, which is nice. Feeling it a little bit in the shoulder. I can also feel it a bit in my left shoulder blade. All right, and let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing, wrapping those arms around. So my arm that's in the front is holding onto my waist. My arm that's in the back, my wrist is flexed back a little bit, so it's holding onto my hip. And I'm looking to the left. We want to try and keep our hips mostly square to the front. It's okay if you twist all the way. I think that's fine. You know, we're not here to have extreme technique, and these are such gentle stretches that you shouldn't be getting hurt from these. And remember to think about the difference between good pain and bad pain. Sometimes when we're doing stretches, it can feel like if I'm not getting the bad pain, then I'm not getting a good stretch. That is not always true. Let's go go ahead and open our ribs really big and wide. So we're going to arch our back. Now we're going to exhale, shrink our ribs in, bend our spine forward. And again. Nice. When you come forward, if you arch the top of your back, bring your shoulders forward, you slump your shoulders forward, you're going to get a really nice stretch in your traps and in all of the muscles along your shoulder blades. I think that feels really nice to kind of stretch those out. Additionally, if you put your hands behind you and pull your elbows back, you pull your shoulder blades together, you'll stretch the front. So you'll stretch the front of your shoulders and you'll stretch your pecs. Oftentimes, if we are seated at a desk all day long, and maybe after we sit at that desk, we go sit on the couch, we tend to have our shoulders positioned forward a little bit, and we kind of just slowly but surely curl up like a shrimp, as I like to say. Let's get into a little bit of leg stretching here. So first, just loosen those hips up. Just make a circle with those hips. Ooh, my hip popped. Just 4 or 5 circles one direction, and then 4 or 5 circles the other direction. Now my legs are straight for this, but if you want to do this stretch with attitude, bend one knee as you come around. You guys may remember SpongeBob in the early 2000s. I don't even remember the episode, but a joke that has lasted in my family since I was a little girl. This episode of SpongeBob where they talk about bringing it around town. They do this move with their hips. All right, let's get into the inner thighs. So again, these feet are pretty far apart. I've also turned my feet out a little bit. That's comfortable for me. If you would rather keep your feet in parallel, that's fine. As I've made that change, I feel a difference in my hips. And right now, I want my hips to be pretty neutral. So we're gonna slide those hands down the legs and we're gonna use those elbows to push our knees apart. I like to rock side to side. I like the movement. I find it distracts me if the stretch is difficult or feels like I'm not going to enjoy it for very long. So I like to have a little bit of a distraction there. And it reminds me what other body parts are involved when it comes to stretches. Let's go ahead and stand up. Ooh, catch our balance. Now I'm going to put one foot forward. This is going to be my left foot because I want to do some kind of lunging stretches. And I want to stretch behind my knees. Ooh, I feel it already. All I've done is fall forward into a forward fold. I'm going to bend that front knee. My hand is on just below my ankle. It's holding my foot. And I'm bending my knee and straightening my knee. My back leg is staying straight though. This one feels nice. Come center. Go ahead and just hang here for a second. Loosen those hips up, wiggle side to side. Let your head hang down. A lot of times in workout classes, we'll see them ask you to grab your elbows and swing side to side. This is nice because it releases a lot of tension in your neck, lets your shoulders relax. All right, now we're going to switch sides. So I'm turning my feet a little bit. Turning my feet a little bit when I move to the other side. Bending that front knee. So the pace that I'm going at isn't super quick. I'm bending and straightening. Bending and straightening. Today this is actually challenging my balance a little bit. Not always the case, but some days we're a little more off balance than others. I'm using the hand that's not on my foot. I'm using that as a third anchor point, third point of contact to keep me stable. Let's come back center. Wiggle those hips again. Rock side to side. Alright, let's come up. We're going to switch back to our original side. We're going to pop our foot back and into a lunge. This is an upright lunge, and my back foot, or rather my back leg, is fairly straight. And I'm just rocking forward and back a little bit, and I can feel a nice stretch. My calf, so my calf that's back, that's the one that's stretching, and then I can actually feel a little stretch in my glute on my forward leg. Feels nice. These. Come back to center, we'll switch legs. Same thing. Now, if you need some support for balance, you're welcome to put your arms out. If you want an extra challenge, you can put your arms up. But remember, this is about the stretch today. Sticky socks are getting a little more stuck to my mat than I expected. All right, come up, shake those legs out, shake them out, shake them out. Shake, shake. I'm gonna stay on this side that I was just at. And I'm gonna come down, and now I'm actually going to lift my back heel off the ground. I'm gonna lean forward a little bit. So my feet are a little closer together. They're probably just outside of hip width, maybe shoulder width or so. And I'm just picking that back heel off the ground, which causes me to pitch forward a little bit. So I just use one of my hands to support me. Let's do one more here. And we'll switch sides. I'm not even going to stand up. I'm just going to go right into it. Lift that back heel. Down. Heel. Oh, toe popped. Come down. This is a great set of stretches to start your day with or finish your day. I always feel super relaxed after I stretch. So if you do these right before bed, I think it feels nice to kind of feel all loose and juicy right before you go to sleep. I think that feels nice. Okay, now I'm going to stay on this side, and I'm going to actually bend my knees. Both knees are bent now, and I'm going to stand up. Ooh, feeling the stretch in my calf and also behind my front knee. So be gentle when you're coming up, because if it's not comfy for you to straighten your front knee, you don't need to force it. Pretty gentle with it. Go ahead and switch sides. Same thing on the other side. Bent knees and straighten. Ooh. And maybe every time that you stand up, that front knee straightens a little bit more. Now your shirt might be falling, showing your tummy a little bit. Mine is. That's okay. Tummies are a part of our bodies. We can appreciate them for what they do for us. Adjust our food. Make sure we're nourished, satiated. All right, let's come back center. Loosen up. Wiggle those hips. Let your head hang loose. Shake those shoulders a little bit. Okay. Up. All right. Let's do a little bit of ribs. Let's do some spinal mobility. So we're going to push those ribs to one side. We're going to push the ribs to the other side. Ooh, so I feel this in the obliques, yes. But I also feel this in my lower back a little bit. I'm going pretty slow, as you can see, not super quick. Check in on our time here. Looks like we've got about 6 minutes left or so. You're doing great. Okay, come back to center. Now we're gonna flare the ribs out, just like we did in the very beginning. Arch, arch, arch. And then come down. Other direction. And together. It's okay if you don't look like you're moving very much. I personally do not look like I'm moving very much when I do my back arching. I'll turn sideways and show you so I can concave. Back, and I really don't look like I move very much. Some people have a lot of flexibility in their back, and that's awesome. That is not something that has ever come very naturally to me. Even when I was a little girl and tumbling, trying to do back bends and stuff was really difficult for me. Remember to breathe during all of these. Now we're going to make a box. We're going to go to one side, come forward, come side, come back. One side, forward, side, back. One more. Side, forward, side, back. Now let's switch direction. Side, front, side, back. Your hands don't have to be on your hips if you don't want them there. Put them down on your thighs. Just relaxed. I'll recenter myself here. 1. This will be our last one here. 2, 3, 4. Let's try to smooth that motion out a little bit. But we're still going slow. Let's just do 3. So here's 2. And 3. Ooh, that's nice. I back popped from that one. Here's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Let's go ahead and do a figure 4 stretch here. So this is going to challenge our balance a little bit. If you want some support, grab a wall, grab a chair, whatever you need to do. I'm going to attempt to do this without anything helping me with my balance. We'll see how that goes. I'm actually going to face you for this one. So I'm going to take one leg, I'm going to bend it and place it on the knee of my other leg, and then I'm going to have a seat. This is the leg that does not have very good balance for me, so this is also a challenge. But when you're doing this stretch, you should feel a nice stroke. Whoa, goodness. Maybe I do need a support. Head back, I'm gonna hit the wall. You're gonna feel a nice stretch in your glute during this pose. You can point your foot, flex your foot, whatever feels nice. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Go ahead and have a seat. This is typically a better balance situation for me on this foot. Mentioned in another video that I had an injury in high school. I was on the dance team, and as a result, it was my left knee that was injured. And as a result, I did a lot of physical therapy on one leg, a lot of balance, just building the muscles up around my knee. And as a result, I have much better balance on this leg, which is so funny because that injury happened over 10 years ago. And look at the lasting effects of that. All right, let's go ahead and have a seat on the ground. We've got about 2.5 minutes left here. Get into a butterfly pose, so feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Ooh, when I do that, I feel the stretch in my upper back, which is nice. And use the elbows to push those knees down if that's comfortable. Or if you'd rather go one at a time, push one down. It's a little less intense, even though my leg is going further than when I have both of my arms on my knees. Doing one at a time is a little less intense because it allows the opposite side to come off the ground. So the tension is a little bit less, even though the stretch is kind of nicer. Go ahead and put one foot in front of the other, and we'll just lean forward here. Again, feeling a good stretch, similar to figure 4. This is kind of a modified figure 4 on the ground. You're gonna feel that stretch in your glute. That hip feels really good. Switch, that other foot forward. Very nice. Let's bring those feet straight forward. See my grippy socks. I went to a bar class today. I've still got my socks on. We're just going to point the feet, flex the feet. When we point, we feel a stretch along the tops of our feet. When we flex, we feel that stretch along the bottom and our arch. Also feel that in the calf. If you're looking for an extra challenge, you can also just reach yourself forward. And when your feet come up into a flex, you can tug on them a little bit. That feels good. This increases the stretch behind the knees and the calves. Also feel that stretch in the lower back. Okay, we're down to our final 30 seconds here, nearly done. Do a couple circles for ankles and crack with every single one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, there's our 20-minute timer. Let's go ahead and stand up just to finish this off nice and strong. Feet apart. I'm gonna go pretty wide with this. Let's do a couple deep breaths. One more. All right, thank you for coming to Sunday Stretchies. You did it. Have a great week.